What is going on, everyone? My name is jayaxe and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a dialogue breakdown. Obviously it's been 2 years since my last time I've done this. I stopped with July, and so today's video is on August's back in 2023 with Vox and Monica Rambeau Photon. This event is a huge event. There's a lot of events that brought to this, and in fact this is actually closing kind of the door on the World Seed event. So yeah, if you did not catch my live stream and you're kind of like wondering like, hey, like what kind of goes into this video, what kind of goes into like making content like this, what kind of goes into like, you know, writing about it, and like I don't know, it's just like all the connective storylines. So I live streamed and I made this kind of spreadsheet of like, hey, you know, this event has to do with this event, then this event, then this event, then this event, which then you also have this event, and then you also had 2 other events and this event. Like it's a lot of events. And so, you know, if you want to check out my previous videos on those events, go check them out. They're great videos, and but there's so much to talk about with this specific event. All right. So let's getting into this. You know, obviously, you know, Richard Ryder, he's gonna give us a lot of like, you know, kind of get us up to date. Sorry. So Galactus is upon us. Those who have seen his power know the dangers he's possessed. To the battle realm, the Asgardians, the Wakandans, the peoples of Hell Kitchen, their destroyed lives. So yeah, I kind of, you know, mentioned those previous events. You know, obviously Asgardians during the Gore event, Wakandans during the Shuri event, and Hell's Kitchen during Misty Knight's event. Even Battleworld was destroyed. I mean, the victims, the World Eater's mites. Reed Richards has the answer with Gallon. So Battleworld, Marvel Realm Champions. I love Marvel Realm Champions. Like rest in peace. Just had so much potential, so much potential. So this is what the world used to look like. And then obviously with the final cutscene of the game, it looks a lot different. With that cutscene, basically the Maestro died, the Chrono Serpent revealed himself, or at least part of himself, and then we had a Doctor Strange use one of the Galactuses that was summoned to the Battle Realm thanks to Reed Richards, and actually, you know, keep him at bay. So basically it left the planet uninhabitable. And this is kind of what the planet looks like. I think so Deadpool said it was uninhabitable when Gallon came to the game, and then as well when Danny came to the game, she said that this is kind of, there's like pockets that it is habitable because that's where the seed's going to end up. Again, go check out those previous videos, they're super important. So we now have possession of the Cosmic Seed, the Asgardian Relic, the World Tree, which is sources of infinite worlds. Yggdrasill, you know, it holds the 9 realms together. It's really specific to Norse mythology, and even in the comics, this is kind of what it looks like. So if you've ever like, hey, what does it look like? This is what it looks like during the Thor comics. So over the past couple of years, he's been given beacons. So Noah's been given beacons to so many heroes to kind of like keep in touch. Specifically during Noel's event, that was like the first time where he was like, yo, we actually need to make a team because we can't have this happen again. And so he's like, let's maybe call it the Nova Corps. And Rocket's like, oh, you know, he's kind of like tasked by Karina just to help with the seed, right? But he's like, I'm a Nova Corps member now. And so in the Guardians game, you can actually play as like a Rocket Nova Corps, but you know, obviously the Guardians are always on the wrong side of the law when it comes to the Nova Corps because they're space cops. And so again, during May's event, this quest, they actually had the World Seed. They were protected by Karina, but then little Adam Warlock kind of hit the escape pod, and that went to the Battleworld. So pretty cool. And so Groot says his famous line, I am Groot. And they're kind of saying like Groot really wanted to see the World Tree, which I thought was really cool. So if you've seen Marvel Rivals recently, which is funny because 2 years ago this wouldn't have been even, you know, in the realm, they have a really cool skin of this, like, you know, Groot as Yggdrasil, which I think is cool. And as well in the Secret Wars, which I think is more of a reference to Secret Wars, is that 2015 that Peter Quill used the World Tree on actual Battleworld to bring back Groot during Secret Wars 2015. So it's pretty cool. So Monica actually shows up. She does her iconic like landing, which you can actually see in the motion, the motion comic, or not motion comic, like the you know, champion revealed. So she's kind of saying that we're on a battle station basically, or a station kind of above Battleworld, and it's basically, you know, a conduit kind of converging the energy into Battleworld, because it's a tree. It's like, it's a sapling. It kind of needs to grow. It needs like bone meal. It needs something to kind of speed up the process. So with a bang, a bunch of Kree ships come in. So if you've seen Captain Marvel, this is kind of what they look like, or if you've played other Marvel games, this is what they look like. But kind of, it's cool. The Kree, been in the game a long time, ever since Ronan came to the game. There's tons of references. I think we had like a currency in game because the Kree are so ancient as well. I think in Aegon's comic, if you actually, or Aegon's motion comic and his cutscene, you can see him fighting an ancient Kree soldier. It's really cool. And of course, they hate the Skrulls. There's a whole Kree Skrull war that just continues to, eons. It's crazy. But it's funny because we actually have, scrolls replace people. The collector used scrolls to give the Maestro heroes because he wanted so many. And in fact, I think during Scroll Wars event, Nova actually was a scroll, so it's pretty funny. So basically, the cosmic seed grows, the planet will be consumed. So basically, the old planet, the tree is going to basically take the old planet, right? And it's going to make a new one, and it's going to make a lot more. And it's funny because they're like, okay, we need to keep out for the Galactus because they're converging to our location. And Drax is saying, I have nothing to fear of this planet eater, as I am not a planet. I guess it's a good thing he's not ego. So it's just funny. Monica's talking about, like, hey, like, old habits die hard. With Nova, like, saying Nova Corps. This is pretty funny. I just like this. Like, he's talking about, like, oh, what about Atlas Squad? What about Warriors of the World? I was thinking, like, Agents of Atlas and Warriors of the World. I mean, it does sound kind of like different teams and all that, so it's just kind of funny. But actually, the Guardian ship actually gets hit, and it's going down to the planet, which is not the first time the Milano's been on, Battleworld, because we had mcoc, we had that Groot who then became King Groot, and then became a gigantic King Groot, and actually used the Milanos as ways to travel the Forest Guardian. So yeah, just man, I miss that game. But anyways, we have Hulkling here, which again, from his event quest, joined Nova's team, and also was brainwashed by the Supreme Intelligence. Again, he's half Kree, half Skrull, son of Mar-Vell. Really cool. But Monica's hearing things in her head, so she's hearing someone in her head. We have Taskmaster here, who he's a mercenary for hire. He's gonna, do dirty work. I believe he's hired by the Kree, and he was in previous events also trying to steal the World Tree. I think he gets booted off the Milano too, which is pretty funny. And so, he's also worked for MODOK in the past, so he just kind of works for so many people. Cersei's here. Again, Cersei's event, she joined Nova's team. I guess Icarus is missing from this, but, this team is getting big, but then you also have so many other characters in this event quest, so, like, this event quest is huge. But that's her one appearance in this event quest. And the Guardians are being Guardians, like, watch the pain. I really recommend that Guardians game if you ever want it. So Void's here. I remember there was something in the game before this, so I don't remember the reference, but yeah, Void's here. He probably wants to consume it and bring chaos. So Gal and Siri say, luckily we evacuated Battleworld. That is a reference to the past. I think Reed did say he sent a message to Battleworld. It was just kind of hard because, like, the game is, you can't get messages correctly in and out of Battleworld. Battle Realm has a protected barrier, so does Battleworld. So something had to happen to do that. But yes, everyone's free from Battleworld. So they're saying that the planet is a mess of twisted roots with little and little seen on the horizon quickly cover the entire surface. The new planet rises over the roots, teeming with more life than ever. The horizon is pierced. Fascinating. It grew as we theorized, but not ready to bear fruit. And then we get Vox. And Vox, again, with the Kree soldiers. Oh, man, it's so cool. So Vox, obviously, he's a brainwashed Inhuman, right? So he brainwashes Inhumans, and they start stealing and cultivating powers. It's really cool, and the Supreme Intelligence is in charge of it all. And later, I'll get at the end of this, it's super important. But Galactus is coming, and the Vox are basically saying, hey, we'll take care of the Galactuses, all right? But we want it our way, type of thing. And so Nova's guys, all right, I'll go talk to the Supreme Intelligence, all right? I'll go do this, and cut a deal, whatever that means, right? It's a bit of a stretch. It's so funny. Just, oh my gosh, so many puns. The station was made to serve as a conduit. So they're kind of saying what instead of unstable ISO 8, maybe they can use something a little bit more stable, which Monica Rambeau, she's pure energy, is something that would kind of be a lot better than, and less dangerous. But you have to use a person. And especially because she's hearing things, she's not really in the best mind to be doing so. So we're going to have to, like, let her do this. So the massive influx of energy, the World Tree spreads newfound branches and glowing otherworldly light, which is just like the comics. Specifically, I'm pretty sure this is the exact comic that this is a reference to. I think this is a 10 Realms comic, which is really cool. The Yggdrasill has been around for a long time, but this is like the newer version of it, which is really awesome. And we even actually got basically, this exact design in the in the loading screen. So it's really cool. So the fighting stops, and all eyes are on the tree as its glowing branches and new worlds begin to sprout. So the station that they're on basically is getting it's kind of gotten knocked off course, and everyone has to escape. So this place is like no longer a location to be using. But Nova mentions something, so they got rid of the Galactuses, but he's like, I think I can see their connection to Vox and the Supreme Intelligence. So they're gonna go disable that. So they're gonna go defeat Vox. Super edgy guy, by the way. But it's funny because once we defeat Vox, he's losing his connection to the Supreme Intelligence. But in the comics, Vox does later come back as a combination of Vox as a brainwashed Inhuman combined with the Supreme Intelligence as one person. So it's just a plot line like maybe that could be used later. So without a word, he teleports away. And he teleports, which is funny because he has Lockjaw's ability in the comics, that he consumes Lockjaw's power. So yeah, it's just a funny moment. I mean, they can explain it not being that way, but also there's Vox. It's kind of like Legion, one for we are Legion, we are many. All right, but yeah, it's pretty cool. A verdant new battle world. So I haven't read 2024's comic, but this obviously leads to so many things, and especially when we're going to get Secret Wars in the actual MCU, I think this new battle world is going to be super important. I can't wait to read it. And he even invites Monica to join the team and also lead it. So there's a lot of possibilities. This event, I'm kind of crazy I never covered it back in the day because this event was really awesome. It obviously ends this storyline that's been going on for so long, but it's a hell of a ride, and I've really appreciated it. If you guys enjoy more lore content, please comment. Please let me know. And what do you guys want to see next? But anyways, it's been jayaxe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.